Hey guys, welcome back to GeekJ, where we make tech, tutorials, and gaming simpler and better. Enshrouded's Wake of the Water update is finally here, and it is gorgeous. The new water physics are a game changer, but running it is another story. The game is still locked to the Vulkan API, unfortunately, which means the built-in FSR is a blurry, shimmery mess. That is my experience, unfortunately. And we have no access to modern features like FSR4 or native frame generation, even with tools like OptiScaler. But if I told you you could fix this, partially. So let's go over on what Enshrouded brings to the table. If you view right here, please, on this amazing presentation I have prepared for you, we do have a patch which brought the version to 0.9.0.1, but that's fine. It doesn't change the main features. And as you can see here, we have dynamic water simulation, and the water can be redirected, stored, and used for exploration, base building, the plant stuff. We have a new biome, which is a Veil Water Basin, and basically it's a new place. I don't want to say too much. You can read what's on the screen, but I don't want to spoil you if you like exploring by yourself. There's a new fishing system, and this fishing system is pretty cool because it's like a mini game, and you have like craftable rods, and you can specialize the bait you're using and stuff like that. Pretty cool. Not gonna spoil too much. We have a new weapon category, which is Greatsword. We have a level cap increase, so from 25 we can go up to 45, and there's a lot more skills and stuff. And then we have about the water, there is a lot of water-based building, so you will find water wheels, irrigation channels, water gates, other stuff like that. Not gonna spoil too many things. We have some core gameplay changes, which include weapons overhaul. They removed some exploits, which was the saving of looted states for chests, so that's gone. You cannot do that anymore. We have some craftable lore weapons, and you can craft them at any tier. We have the early game mage support. So you have a new Firebolt spell, and it's craftable with minimal resources. We have some regeneration rebalances, and the treasure chest rework. So now silver and gold chests have significantly increased chances for epic legendary weapons. And, not gonna read too much of this information. For quality of life and UI improvements over here, we have finally input customization that actually works. So before you would, select your own key bindings, and they wouldn't work because they were, overriding something else, and they didn't have a conflict detection, and now they do. And you have also tap long and press modalities that you can basically apply to your key bindings. I don't know why it took them 2 years to figure that shit out, but anyway. We have a labeling system. It's a lot more efficient to organize your base now. I don't know why that was not a base feature as well, and the game didn't launch with it. We have a watering can tool. We have some improvements to the rake tool. We have some survivor enhancements, so they have improved pathfinding. For a lot of games, this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, but if the pathfinding is kind of crappy, I lose my shit. It wasn't that bad in this specific game, but there are other games, and they've been out for so long, and some basic stuff are still kind of shit, like Soul Mask. There's a pixel protruding from the ground. You cannot move, and the tiger will eat you. We have some respawn updates. Players now respawn at last visited save point or base. Anyway, We have some visual and audio upgrades, better ray trace reflections, especially now that they have the water stuff in there. We have better global illumination. Atmospheric effects are a lot better. A kind of improved audio system. It uses individual volume sliders. We have some new instruments. And then we have customization, which is, I don't know, for about 2 years that the game has released. And we have like 2 new hairstyles. And it's in vibrant hair colors. And that's it. We also have some bug fixes and some technical notes over here. So we have a lot of stability improvements and exploit resolutions. I don't know if people are going to be happy about the exploit resolutions, but anyway, it is what it is. Let's not waste too much time. I think they did a lot of work for performance because they added a lot of ray tracing and global illumination and stuff, but the game runs at about the same frame rates it was running before they added that, so they probably did some optimization, but the game needs more optimization, and we're gonna find out together pretty soon. But yeah, let's look at the problem of staying with, Vulkan, and now we have AMD that hasn't released FSR4 for Vulkan, and obviously we, as RDNA 2 users or older cards, we would need to find those, DLLs if they make them public, and then someone will compile the int 8 version if they accidentally post those as well, just like they did with, the regular FSR4 for DirectX. I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws here, guys, and hope, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But anyway, let's look at the problem in the vanilla game, and you'll see that our options are very, very limited. So let's fire up the game. Okay, let's click on the play. And as you can see, we have a little house over here, like an initial place. Yeah, not a lot of stuff has changed over here, but yeah, let's take a look at what are the graphical options we have access to in the default game. So we're gonna go into settings over here and display, and as you can see, we're on a 1080p monitor. It's the native resolution. And then you can see over here what are my settings, so I can keep the game, kind of at a good state of performance. So I'm mostly using quality, and some of the settings are going to balance. But yeah, mostly it's quality so far. And we're using FSR3 quality as well. And this is how it looks. Unfortunately, you can see it's a bit shimmery, and especially when we move the camera, the shimmer and the pixelation just take over. And the problem is, the other options we have are pretty sad. You can see over here, let's say we go with a native AA, okay? So immediately we lost almost 20 FPS over here. And yeah, the game looks a little bit more stable, but we still have those problems. Like if I move the camera, you can see the shimmering behind the trees. Everything else is kind of the same, even on native AA. And yeah, let's go back into settings. The other option we have is going to be the FX AA option, and this looks even worse. I think they just added that option just to have another option, and they didn't optimize it at all. Look at how this looks. This is supposedly native resolution, and look at how unstable that is. I'm not even moving the camera. My hands are up here, but you can see the grass is super pixelated. Anyway, these are our options. I am playing on FSR3 quality, and this is how the game looks. So basically, FSR3 is a better option than the other option we get as AMD users, which is FXAA. And unfortunately, it's a pixelated, unstable image. It's not that great of a loss in visual fidelity, and we get playable frame rates. But I believe we can do a little bit better. So, how do we fix this? We're bringing in one of our channel's favorite tools, OptiScaler. We have to first download it from the link in the description below. And then open up your Steam or, whatever other platform you have the game on. And then click on this little cog icon over here. Go down to Manage and then Browse Local Files. And actually over here, we don't need to do anything else. Just keep this window open. And what I'm gonna do next, I have another tab on Windows Explorer over here, and I have my OptiScaler folder open over here. I'm gonna open up this archive, and as you can see, these are all the files. So let me show you which files we're gonna copy over to our game folder. So I'm gonna go with D3D12 OptiScaler, DLSS overrides, and then I'm gonna go with fake NV API. I'm gonna go with all this XeSS stuff, the OptiScaler, and then I'm gonna copy over the setup windows.bat as well. And then I'm just gonna click and drag and drop these into my game installation folder. If it prompts you to overwrite some of the folders, just go on ahead and do so. So let's exit out of this. Next thing we are going to do is run the setup windows.bat. So because this game uses the Vulkan API, we have to select option 2, which is the vim.dll. And after that, just select the options for your hardware, and part 1 is basically done. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna press 2 for vim.dll, then 1 for AMD Intel, and 1 for DLSS inputs, if we have that option, which I believe we do not. So next, go into this DLSS overrides and double click on Enable Signature Override. Then click Yes and agree to everything, and then finally OK. And basically, we're good to go. So next up, DLSS-Swapper. This tool will grab the latest and greatest Upscaler files for us. And if you haven't installed it before, check out my full guide in, this video up there, I believe. Hello? So in the DLSS-Swapper interface, just find Enshrouded and update all the available Upscalers. And this ensures basically we're using the best possible versions for maximum quality and performance. So I'm just gonna click on this icon. As you can see, the DLSS Upscaler is kind of old. We're gonna update that. So we click on it and then we click on swap. And I'm gonna go with the Vulkan version. I'm gonna click on swap. And then we can see we can have the latest and greatest versions of XeSS over here. I'm gonna click swap. Gonna do the same for the XeSS frame generation. And the XLL version, which, by the way, I don't think we're gonna be able to use, but, for future proofing, I guess. So close out of this one. All right, let's fire up the game. And basically there it is on the bottom left of the screen. You can see the prompt in that corner, and that means our installation of OptiScaler was a success. Before we hit play, we're gonna go into the settings over here, display, and right now you can see we have another option, which is DLSS. So yeah, that is pretty cool. So let's go on ahead and hit play, private, and load our world over here. So okay, we're in, and it kind of looks like the visuals are kind of worse, and you're gonna be correct. So we have to press the insert key on our keyboard to get into the OptiScaler menu over here. And as you can see, for some reason in this game, in Vulkan games in general, it will default into FSR 2.2.1, which is super old, obviously. And yeah, it's not going to work very well. We could try the FSR3. Let's go ahead and showcase this. As you can see, it's like a shimmery mesh, and we can save and close over here. We get similar performance to what we were getting when we were actually using the in-game FSR3. If we untick the use FSR input values and then save and close, nothing kind of changes. So if you're planning on using FSR3, just use the default in-game option. You don't need to use OptiScaler for this. But anyway, I wanted to show you a different option that we have access to now. So we're going to change the Upscaler to XeSS. And then save and close. And as you can see, we get very, very similar performance, but a lot more stable of an image. Obviously, I think because we're using this in quality mode, it does have that added softness to it. Click on the insert button you can see over here. It actually tells you that it is upscaling from 720p to 1080p, right? And yeah, we are at about the same performance numbers over here, and the image is a lot more stable in my opinion. And as you can see, even if we move the camera, we don't have that shimmering or pixelation, and it looks a lot better. So yeah, you can check this out for yourself. Just don't forget, after you select the upscaler you want, click on this button that says change upscaler, and don't forget to click on save the INI and then close it. Otherwise, the next time you log into the game, it's gonna probably default to the FSR 2.2.1 and look awful. As you can see, we don't have any frame generation options, and even if we did install Nukem's DLSS-G, we would be able to click on this here, but then it actually gives you a little hint of a text that's telling you to enable frame generation in the game options, which we don't have, so that wouldn't work. So yeah, I'm gonna throw on the screen some side-by-sides right now for you to see XeSS and FSR3, like the default experience, and then we will have the XeSS experience through OptiScaler, so we can see the changes in image quality. And I mean, it's normal because XeSS is an int8 upscaler that is universally available to everyone by Intel, so I'm really grateful for that. And then AMD just doesn't want to follow suit, and they're kind of spearing poop on gamers' faces. Yeah, these are my comments in regards to what they've done with RDNA 1 and 2 and the excuses they kind of post online, and what they were forced to say, like, you know, yeah, we are gonna continue supporting RDNA 1 and 2 when they are still today releasing new products that have RDNA 2. Look at how this looks. I mean, XeSS really looks cool with rain effects, and we have experienced this with Cyberpunk as well, because some of the FSR options before the FSR4 implementation, which we were able to use the int8 version, really sucked at displaying rain and tiny particles, or tiny moving particles specifically, on screen. They were kind of disappearing with FSR3. And yeah, with XeSS we never had an issue, and now we don't have an issue with XeSS in Enshrouded. But yeah, for me the difference is night and day. Visual fidelity is a lot higher, the image is a lot more stable, there's no shimmering and almost no pixelation. So yeah, that's a huge upgrade from the default FSR3. And yeah, the FPS remains up to playable numbers, and we didn't have to sacrifice our eyeballs to get there. And yeah, I think that finally the game looks as good as it should with XeSS. So Intel to the rescue, yay. And yeah, one final note. Yeah, like me, you might be tempted to use lossless scaling, so let's click on scale right now, and I'm gonna move this away. And while it does make the numbers on screen bigger. In my testing, it makes the game feel significantly less smooth and a bit more stuttery. But you're gonna have a way worse experience than just using OptiScaler with XeSS, because you're getting a performance hit to be able to get a tiny performance upscale in numbers, because it's going to try to duplicate your frames from the base frames you're getting. And if you check on the top left of the screen over here, the base FPS we're getting are 40 or 43, so they're not 70, and it's doubling them almost to 80 something. But it doesn't feel like 80 something, it feels like 40 if we're being honest over here. But yeah, a very, very bad experience with lossless scaling, unfortunately, in this scenario. And even if you plan on using lossless scaling on the default game, it does the same thing, even if you don't have OptiScaler. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to recommend lossless scaling for this game. Unscale, and again, we're back to normal numbers and the pretty cool smoothness of the game right now. So that's it, fellow geeks. With OptiScaler and DLSS-Swapper, you can get a great looking and performing experience in the world of Enshrouded and enjoy the new Wake of the Water DLC, I suppose, and all this new content and the numbers, so it's gonna be playable. If this guide helped you out, smash that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to click on that bell to never miss another GeekJ video, and let me know your results in the comments below. Stay geeky, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye! Bye! Bye!